Welcome back to the Daily Dope Show. I'm your host, Brando, that weed commando guy. And this video is just going to be an update on a few things relating to this channel, my ambitions for this channel, current policies that I'm going to change on this channel, and other, just stuff that's been kind of getting, kind of building up after a while. I do these videos from time to time to kind of reconcile my relationship with social media and the people that follow my channel, or the people that I engage with on Twitter. Sometimes it becomes a matter of trolling and whatnot, or people that I've developed relationships with that follow my channel to the point where I almost feel like I'm obligated to, basically respond to the I don't want to say fans. There's no fan. No one's a fan. But that's kind of what the relationship between somebody that creates content and the people that watch the content, as they continue to watch the person, they develop criticisms, and it would be irresponsible of me to ignore those. And I haven't heard a whole lot of criticisms in the last, 6 months or so, so I won't really be addressing too much about any criticisms. However, there was a few more people, both from, shall I say, the opposite side, as well as people that you would say have watched my videos for a little bit and maybe have some criticisms about certain things. So, and I hear you. And I'm talking about the name, The Daily Dope Show. All right. I get you. I hear you. I feel you. Not much I can do about it if you don't like it. And, what is it? What is it about? I probably explained this before, but if you're new, you might not have heard this explanation. But the Daily Dope Show is kind of a combination of two things. It's actually like what I wanted was the Daily Dope. That name has already been taken. It was already used. Had copyrights issues on it in certain places where I was trying to use it. So the Daily Dope was off. And a lot of the criticism from people that like me is that, dope. Like, obviously they think that this is a marijuana related channel, and the word dope should not be associated with people in the marijuana realm, because we are not dopey, drug-addled blobs on the park bench with piss-stained sweatpants on. And I get that. I feel you. And actually the comment I'm really responding to specifically right at this moment, but not the whole thing in general. This isn't about the whole thing, isn't about that one comment, but that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. And you know who you are, and it's basically just saying that, people might be easily able to use that kind of moniker against you or whatever. And believe me, I'm sitting here 2 years after I put this channel on YouTube. I know, and I'm on Twitter for the last year and a half or so, and yeah. So the people that look at the word dope in a negative way and try to use that, it's kind of like an on-purpose troll. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about, but so somebody will criticize me for the word dope. They'll be like, "Oh, you're the Daily Dope Show. Oh, look at why don't you smoke another bong?" Like, if I make a talking point that don't jive with what they're, with what they're arguing, then they revert to the name. Like, "Oh, you're just a dope head. You don't know, you're dopey. Marijuana makes you stupid, blah, blah, blah." And it's easy to instantly identify people that are not effective in the Discord because they resort to that. And then I can, instead of going into some big argument with somebody or whatever, you can just immediately focus on them people, because that's where you're going to win your arguments. Those are the people that are actually dumb. And I mean, they bought into the propaganda. You can easily argue your talking points against them. But I'm not trying to defend that. Again, the Daily Dope Show is a combination between the Daily Dope, which is the name I wanted, and the Daily Show, which is the font that you see there. That's the Daily Show. It used to be with Jon Stewart. It used to be a good show back in the day when Jon Stewart was holding politicians' feet to the fire in a major way, and basically being a voice for the people and against the establishment. We don't have a whole lot of those these days, and I thought, it was kind of a paying homage to the kind of spirit that the Daily Show had in that regard. But it wasn't really, I didn't want to have to resort to still using the Dope Show, but repairing it with adding the Daily Dope Show. So you can't just call it the Dope Show either, because the Marilyn Manson video just dominates the internet searches for that. And I couldn't tell people to search for the Dope Show. And the word dope, I don't really have a problem with it. I've in my world that I've been in, and most of my life, when someone says the word dope, they're usually referring to heroin. So this show is not about heroin, in case you haven't noticed. I've never referred to marijuana as dope. I've used the word dope to describe cool shit. Like, yeah, man, that's dope. Or, the news. Like, hey, I got the dope on that latest stock tip or something. Just, people that use the word in a dopey sense, those people are old-fashioned. They're either old-fashioned or they just are straight up old. And that context of the word is not what it is anymore. All right? Do you understand that? And most of the people that use the internet are not dinosaurs that still think that the word dope is something that Walt Disney invented to describe Goofy and stuff. Are you following me? I'm just saying, man. I'm not trying to repair these words in people's minds. I'm trying to retake these words. These words belong to us, man. You know what dope really is? The word really refers to the dopamine system of hormones in your body. That is a very key part of basically everything you do. Dopamine is part of the reward system that your body naturally has in place to promote prolonged good behavior and healthy choices, believe it or not. And whatever you do, any kind of drugs, what you're doing is you're kind of boosting the dopamine system. You're giving it a kick in the ass and making it do way more than it's supposed to. But with cannabis, it's not that big of a deal because the kick isn't that huge, and the dope that's actually being kicked into the system, the body needs it and uses it for positive things like immune system related things and other things, pain relief, just an overall balanced state of being that you can't find in pharmaceutical antidepressants and whatever other drugs that they have for you that does the same thing and acts on the dopamine system of rewards. That, it's just part of it. If you look into what dopamine, it's really responsible for a lot more than just the reward system. It's the balance of sleep and rest. It's the ability to greet a wakefulness with the proper mode and mood. So there's a lot to it. And to sit there and act like it's a negative context, I don't know, I think that's just dated. So I guess I should move on to the next topic when it comes to the channel, and we're going to talk about monetizing videos. Now, I've been on and off the fence of monetizing these videos on this channel for a long time for several reasons. Now, one of the reasons I want to monetize videos is because you get more views, just point blank. If I monetize a video, it will automatically get almost 100 views just because of the monetization. And you notice those kind of things, those spikes are only noticed within the first 24 hours of a video getting put out. So if I monetize a video, within 24 hours, it'll have 100 or 200 views. You know, without monetizing it, it could range from like 50 views to a little over 100. That's because people that know my channel, are subscribed to it, get alerts or whatever, those people will see my video and they'll watch it within the first 2 days. But that's it. You know, outside of that, if my own subscribers and people that have watched my videos before, so it's kind of on their queue, even if they're not subscribed, they might not even see the video. So if it's monetized, not only will all those people see the video, but people that don't even have my channel in their, you know, radar might see it. Because that's the way monetization, you know, they want more people to see it because they want that ad to run more. And the algorithm knows where to put a video like mine so that more people that are interested in it will actually watch more than 2 seconds of it. Anyway, so you're going to see some monetization going on. And I'll probably do a video later down the road about how they're kind of dicking me around on that monetization. Because I don't really care about it. I still have not pulled any money from AdSense for this channel. Isn't that funny? I have not even attempted to, because last time I checked, and this was about 8 months ago, it wasn't even enough to even pull the money, which has to be at least $100. So I had not even made over $100 yet. I'm pretty sure I'm probably over that $100, but not much. And it's weird because I still get paid for the monetized videos that were monetized back then that people are watching. There's a few videos here and there that they monetize for me, and I've kind of stopped keeping track of that. And those are still getting paid. So I still get, I'm noticing, like, you know, when I look at the analytics, I'm still making like $1 or $2 a week off of videos, and I haven't monetized anything in at least 6 months. I used to say, oh, you know what? If I put a video out that I'm pretty sure is going to get over 1,000 views because it's something to do with political activity that's going on, and I know people will actually be watching it, then I'll monetize it and see what happens. And I haven't even done that in a long time. So you haven't seen any monetization from any of my videos if you've been paying attention for quite some time. Enough on the monetization. And we'll talk about how they're going to censor me more later after I start monetizing, because it will happen. That's kind of what's been going on. Like, as soon as I start monetizing, my views will go up, my subscriber count will start going up, and then I'll start getting hit with automatic unsubscribes. I'll get hit with like bad numbers on video view counts. It's like they focus on me again. So we're doing a little memory lane trip here. Just to let new people know, I've been around since 2016, and August of 2016, when I made this video here, the DEA just said no to marijuana. And that was when there was a request put in, I think it was like almost 2 years before this video that I made there, where we asked the DEA to reschedule cannabis. And this is like Patrick Leahy and a few other senators were behind this. And they said no. This was a reschedule. They could have said, yeah, we'll go with Schedule 2 so we can start getting some research done and whatnot. And no, they wouldn't do it. And then I, immediately started doing videos about what was going on in the political arena of cannabis in 2016, right before the elections. So we had videos like these where, Hillary position is rescheduled to Schedule 2 and why that's a bad idea. We got Oklahoma's story back then. I used to do a lot of stories about Duterte. Here's, if you just seen a recent video I did where it was a debate about the Michigan legalization, I did an interview with Deborah Young way back 2 years ago when they were getting screwed over, and they basically were filing with the Supreme Court at the time, and that was at the Cannabis Cup. And my channel's always had the same tone. Not all cannabis activists are excited about 2016. You see that video right here. And that's what's going on, you know, like with my channel. I'm not into this feel-good hit of the summer that is quote-unquote legalization, because we still have cops shooting people and saying it was because they smelled weed or they had weed in the car or something, as we just seen in Texas. And also just in Texas with the Botham Jean, where, you know, a black man gets shot by an off-duty cop, just totally random, crazy sounding shit. And then, you know, like he was in his own apartment and the cop went to supposedly the wrong apartment, and then he answers the door. She I don't know what the fucking story is because she changed it somewhat. Anyway, a cop shoots you in your own house, and what happened? Oh, they find weed there and make that the story. Come on, man. So we still got a long, long ways to go. We got the whole stigma going on. It's just a nightmare out there. But what you're seeing is all the videos I've ever made. And I've been doing Kratom videos since that started blowing up 2 years ago. And I don't even claim to be a part of the Kratom community because I don't do Kratom. But I've done many rants about the fact that there should be no way that the FDA or anybody else can come along and just ban Kratom. There's absolutely no justification for it. And I'll continue making videos about that. I'll probably do another video about Duterte sooner or later. And Reefer Madness, again, that's another one of my main topics, because every time someone tries to legalize marijuana somewhere, you see the Reefer Madness popping up like crazy. Every time someone's running for office, Reefer Madness. And it's just, it's outlandish. And I've done more than a few videos about religious topics, as far as, you know, literally Jesus weighing in on the 2016 prop in Arizona. Not really. But, I mean, for real. What is the problem, religion? All the religions have the same book, really, the Old Testament, or whatever you want to say that book's called. The Hebraic. Y'all believe like that God gave all the plants to us and all this other stuff. So what's the problem? What is exactly is the problem with weed? I don't get that. And I've been reporting on the DEA versus CBD, which has been going on for over a year. There's a clip about it there over in the top left. So it's just non-stop, man. I've been following this thing going on with My Legalize, which is now the Coalition to Regulate Marijuana Like Alcohol in Michigan, all the way through. So if you're new here and, you know, you're just watching my videos as they come out because you're trying to just keep up with the news, that's not even what I do. I don't break any of these stories. I just make commentary about what has already happened. So sometimes I catch it the day it happens. Other times you might not see me make a story for a few days after it happened. But sometimes I have to collect my thoughts, you know, and see what everybody else is saying. I try not to look at social media too much before I do a report on a specific story, because I don't want to muddy my opinion up too much with the people that I go to trust what they got to say about something. I want to go ahead and, you know, when, like for over here where it says right here, Sessions torches the Cole memo. Now, when I made that video, I didn't really watch TV to see what they said about it or read Tom Angel and see what he said about it. A lot of marijuana reporting doesn't really have an opinion tied to the story. They just give you the details and the facts. I'm the one that gives you the feelings. All right? That's what I do. That's what I'm here for. I make catchy headlines and cool, thumbnails or whatever. And I've been covering this lawsuit against Jeff Sessions since that started happening, and following the story and following Alexis Bortel as she continues to have improvements in her health because of cannabis. And we're going to keep following all these stories. Every story is worth following. There's something going on still. You pick out any story I've done a report on, and there's an update to it right now. I could go back and make an update on every one of these videos. And it just keeps on happening. This is history unfolding. This is nothing short of history unfolding. And it's going to continue to unfold until marijuana's completely legalized everywhere. And then we're going to start getting rid of these arrests. And then we're going to just get rid of prohibition altogether. And guess what, guys? This channel ain't going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere. I will be here until the last prohibition ends on a substance. And the FDA no longer engages in that Controlled Substances Act regime of activity. The DEA no longer exists. There will never be a militant or police action against a drug abuser or seller or user or whatever you want to call it. And we have sensible policy. And since I don't think that's ever going to happen in my lifetime, I don't think this channel's going anywhere. This channel is not going anywhere. I can see doing a whole year's worth of stories when cocaine gets legalized. I can see, our march towards all psychedelic drugs being either out of the scheduling system altogether or in a scheduling system that makes sense. I can see a time when I'm making videos about cannabis in terms of, where we should be. Like talking about the different kinds of flowers that were developed and the medicines that were made from ingenuity, not big pharma trying to bastardize and make, analogs and chemicals out of cannabis to suit their needs and, line their bank accounts and shareholder profits. So that's where I'm at, guys. If we got, if there's some kind of a pushback on this Daily Dope Show being the name, if it's that big of a deal and somebody has a better idea of what to name this channel on YouTube, that's cool. You can put that in somewhere, you could even put it in the comment below if you think it's a good enough idea. I personally don't see changing it. I did actually play around with the idea of just changing it to the Daily Dope. So that's not going to make a lot of people happy because most people don't like the word dope. And I'm afraid that no matter what word that you grab out of the hat that they call this wonderful plant, somebody's going to have a problem with that word. I could call this the Daily Cannabis Show. That would probably be the best bet. That would make everybody happy. But then I don't know. I don't feel like that. It just takes away from the spirit of why I called it what it is in the first place. I wanted this to be the show that isn't the guy that's you know, unboxing the latest vape pen, or talking about how, smoking a 2-gram dab out of the newest rig. I'm just not that guy, dude. I'm not the guy, and I'm a good grower, believe me. I grow organically though, so probably a boring grow video overall. Probably pretty shitty, if you know what I mean. So I don't do the grow thing. I don't do like grow videos. I'm not into talking shop. Just not my thing. I'm into this. I've always been fascinated by weed news, by drug war stories. You know why? Because this is where the fight is. If you make a grow video, then you just get in fights with people in the comment section about, we should, you don't do this the way I do it, and I do it this way, and you do it that way, and it's such a nightmare. I used to exist in grow message boards, and I don't even do that anymore. If you want some grow advice from me, just ask for it. If I got time, I'll talk to you about some shit. But that's what I do, man. I do the news, and it ain't really the good news. I do the take that you deserve to get. Because if you come in here totally ignorant about, marijuana policy, you've never read The Emperor Wears No Clothes by Jack Herer, you've never really read, to you, High Times was just porno, you didn't read the actual stories. I'm doing a favor for a lot of people that probably wouldn't really pay attention to this shit anyway. But I feel like I'm just doing this for myself. This is my project I'm doing for myself. I am documenting all the historic events that are happening as the drug war ends. And I'm sure, like I said earlier, it's probably not going to end before I end. So while I'm still here, I'm going to put my effort into doing this body of work and documenting and making a historical record every pertinent thing that happened in the drug war ending. And if you look back at my videos and just look at what I'm making videos about, I think I'm making more videos than you need to have for what I'm talking about that I'm trying to do. But nonetheless, that's called nuance, and it's fine, That way you know why it took so long for all this shit to happen. It's ridiculous. And every once in a while you'll see a video like this one here. That's oh, nope, that ain't it. But anyway, yeah, I did make a grow tip video. And I'll since I have this platform and the audience is weed related, and I know there's a lot of growers in my audience, so from time to time I might throw a softball at you and just have something like that. And I think that's pretty fun. And I even like these videos. But yeah, there's a lot of history in here. And there's this thing going on right now with the prohibitionists versus people like me. So if you just stumbled into that recently, I think you've hit a pretty good gold mine with this channel, because I have all the latest tit for tat battles. And somewhere along the line I started making weekly podcasts, I called them, and they were, in case you don't know, they were like 1 to 3 hour long shows with all the news that happened during that week, because there used to be that much weed news happening during the week. Things have calmed down since then, and since then I've tapered it off and I don't really do that. But from time to time, I probably will go on DC 420 LA's show if they'll have me again, because I love Dave and Chella. And furthermore, you might even start seeing weekly podcasts from time to time. That's all I got on this video, guys. I'm going to try to keep these channel videos at 30 minutes so that they don't get crazy and they're not too short. So I have all the inclusion in it. If you're new here and you like it so far, go ahead and subscribe. And that's all I got, man. Peace out from the Daily Dope Show.